What's up, everybody? This is Mo FPV. This is my face. This is a 500 subscriber face reveal special. The gift you didn't know you wanted. The reason I'm doing this today is because I have another special video for you that I wanted to make a little more personal. If you saw the intro, you know it's about Iceland. I went there. Me and my girlfriend went there a couple of 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago. I don't know. This video is late. I should have had this out a while ago, but I wanted to do something like this. I wanted to originally do a vlog where I brought my camera there and talked about the different spots we were going to, but that didn't end up happening. I didn't really want to make the trip about FPV as much as I wanted to make the trip about FPV. I wanted to, enjoy the time that me and my girl were spending there and enjoying Iceland and the food and everything, and it was a great time. But here is the FPV portion. And instead of rolling the clips one after another, I wanted to give a little bit of an introduction to all of them. So here it is. So I got a collection of different clips for you. The first couple are actually Tinywhoop clips. They're from inside of Reykjavik, which is where we spent a lot of our time, especially the first few days. And then we're going to switch over to the sweet 5-inch cinematic footage that I all know you guys want to see. We're going to start with the Tinywhoops. I love Tinywhoops. You can bring them everywhere you go. No one's going to get mad about them. They're safe, quiet, and you can see, the city in a different way. This first clip was from, I want to say it's a hospital. It was right behind our hotel. I had seen it as soon as we rolled up, and I was like, I gotta fly there. So take a look at this. Hope you enjoy. Pretty sweet, huh? So that was one of the first days we were there. It was kind of gray. The weather was on and off. It changes in an instant. But one of the things that happened or was happening when we were there was the summer solstice. And they have, it's not true 24-hour daylight, but pretty much for 24 hours. The darkest it got was about sunset level here. And then the sun will rise again. And it made for some interesting experiences. I'll get more into that at the end of the video. But I think the clip you're about to see here is one of the staples of Reykjavik. And it's a church, and I don't know the name, and I'm not going to try to pronounce it. I'm going to put it here. It was made to kind of symbolize the nation, a lot of their rock formations, because it's a very volcanic country. And the pillars or the structure of the church is kind of made to emulate that. Either way, it's a beautiful POI, and I wanted to fly it. And the only way I felt comfortable flying it was with a Tinywhoop. So here's some HD zero footage of that.
It's you I have to choose. But please don't take it the wrong way. Please don't take it.
Man, I didn't want to leave that spot as early as we did. I think that was about 2 a.m. on like the first or second night that we had gotten there, and I wanted to fly more packs, but I was a little cautious. There were some cops rolling around. I didn't think that they would really care. Drones are pretty accepted and frequent in Iceland, but I wasn't trying to get questioned by the police like the second day we were there. Like, what are you doing with that? I just wasn't trying to mess around with that. So very, very happy to fly there. It was very beautiful. And I have some more tiny whoop footage from the trip, but none that I really wanted to include here. I might throw some extra clips in at the end of the video, or links to extra clips if you're interested in watching them. But we're going to move on to the 5-inch stuff, the cinematic stuff, with this next clip here. And this was on the way to a hot spring. So we were going to do a hike to a hot spring, and they said it was like an easy hike. Like the whole hike itself was like, I think like 2 miles, and it's rated in difficulty, and it said easy. So we're like, yeah, we'll check it out. You know, I'll bring my FPV gear. It's like, I don't know, 40 pounds of gear. It was not an easy hike. I don't know if just Iceland people are just super fit and all they do is walk, but it was not an easy hike, man. And it was at the end of the day. I think we had done something earlier, so we were kind of beat. And we didn't make it. We didn't make it, but we got about halfway up, and I saw a potential for a couple of good flight paths. So I was like, I'm gonna take this, and then turn right around and go home because I was so tired. So hopefully you enjoy these clips. So this next spot you're gonna see is a path. I know that doesn't sound interesting, but all of Iceland is beautiful. If you live in America like me, the landscape we have here is also beautiful, but it doesn't. There's nothing like it here. You know, this is all volcanic rock and lava, and you know, these formations, these mountain formations, as I've been told, aren't very old as far as the Earth is concerned. So there's no trees. You know, there's no like traditional grass that would, when you think of mountains in the U.S. It's just all rock and some moss, and it's sharp and pointy, and it makes for some very interesting landscapes, which hopefully I'm going to capture here. This was on the way to a volcano tour that we did. This has been a dormant volcano, and you get to go inside. You go on a little elevator that I wasn't comfortable doing, but it was cool to see. And the path was fairly long and fairly flat, and I was like, you know, maybe I'll do some filming around there just to kind of capture the landscape a bit, and hopefully I did that, and hopefully you enjoy it. Now this next spot is going to be the final spot that we have. This is the big boy. This is the big waterfall that we saw off the side of the road, because there's just amazing landscapes off the side of the road on Iceland. If you just drive and find a million places to fly and just beautiful things. This was actually right outside next to a waterfall that you can like walk behind. It's a popular tourist destination. It was cool. I didn't bring my hiking shoes that day, so I literally had sandals on walking behind this 100 and 200 foot waterfall. But I made it. I made it out. And then we were driving and it looked like it was going to rain. And I wanted to fly like there were like flowers. There was a flower patch around there or some. They have this weed that looks like it's like a purple flower-ish thing. They look really nice. I was gonna fly there, but I was like, yeah, maybe there's something better. And I didn't fly, and I flew, and we drove like not even a mile down the road, and we saw this waterfall. I was like, well, this is the spot. The clouds were rolling in. The wind is absurd. Like when I took off, I had my drone like that just to go straight. I was like, I'm gonna crash. This is where I'm gonna lose this drone. But it was like one of the last days, and I really wanted the shot, so I was like, I'm just gonna risk it. And you know what? I won't spoil it. We'll see what happens. So that was it. That was one of the last good shots that I got. Crazy experience. Like I said, super windy, super sketchy. That drone wasn't conformal coated, and that water was. There were times where the wind would be coming in so hard that water would stop falling down the mountain. It would just blow like straight outwards or even upwards. It was nuts. So the fact that I got that drone back safely with that shot, that was a win in my book. I do have one final video coming up here, or one final clip, a collection of clips that I want to share with you guys, and we're going to switch moods a little bit here at the end of the video just to get weird. We're going to get weird. These final clips kind of summarize my experience in Iceland. This was on a Friday that we left on a Saturday, and I'm also participating in IGO, and one of the requirements was due when I was out there, and I wanted to get it done, and this was down to the wire. It's due on Friday at 12 p.m. and I needed to get this done, and we went to a couple of different locations to try to do it, but this was at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and this kind of summarizes the whole vibe of Iceland, the whole vibe of the trip. When it's late at night, your headspace kind of changes a bit. You get tired, you get those late night thoughts. And when the sun is still out and people are still out and about and doing things, it's just made for like different memories in a way. I know it sounds weird, but it's almost like when I got home and after these weeks passed and I looked back on the trip, it almost kind of felt like surreal or almost like a dream. Some of the memories almost kind of felt like dreams in a way. I know that sounds weird, but it's true. It's true. It was so peaceful, and the people were so nice, and the food was actually okay. It wasn't that good. No, it was a great experience. You should absolutely go. And I'm gonna leave you with these final clips to hopefully summarize the emotion, the feeling that Iceland brought me, and the peace that the country kind of embodies. This has been Mo. I hope you enjoyed this.